Thanks very much for your time, as always. So let's try and answer that question that Andy asked at the end of his report. Is it just a strong-arm tactic, or is the US prepared to follow through with military action?
Aaron, the answer is we don't know. We don't know, and even Trump doesn't know. That the trajectory of the US over the last few years, especially under Trump, has been that it's been erratic, but it has consistently used military power, and it has consistently supported Israel. All three of those themes are possibly adjusting a little bit here and there. Maybe Trump is less happy to carry out wars. He knows it's going to destroy his electoral chances. It'll hurt the economy very badly. It'll only help Russia and China and others. The support that he has for this in the U.S. is minority. About 30, 40, 35, 40% possibly of Americans support military action at most, and the majority, 60 or 70, don't want military action. So we don't know what he's going to do, but you have two leaders in Israel and the U.S. that are both in legal trouble. Both have been before indicted for various crimes, and both have track records in war that have not achieved their political objectives. So this is a situation now where the U.S. is obviously wants to keep talking with Iran. Iran obviously wants to keep negotiating. Both sides have to be willing to make the concessions. That's where the biggest unknown is. The Iranians have made concessions in the past if they've been mutual and reasonable. The Americans have made some concessions under Obama. They've limited their sanctions and done other things, but we don't know what Trump is going to do. So we just have to wait and see how this plays out. It's very much linked to domestic American political balance of power, and it's very, very much linked to what China and Russia do to support Iran, which they've already done.
Yeah, Rafael Grossi, the head of the IAEA, recently said that it's going to take not only concessions, but a great deal of imagination to get this deal over the line. How do you think Iran is going to respond to this deployment of military assets to the region? Donald Trump's given them a month, a timetable of a month. How do they tend to respond to strong-arm tactics?
They've experienced this in the past. The United States and Israel, for about the last 75 years, roughly, have not allowed either the Iranian people or the Palestinian people to enjoy self-determination. And both Israel and the U.S. have consistently used military power, subterfuge, all kinds of tactics to do this and to keep. This is one reason why the region is in so much turmoil. So Trump really is a man who has to make a decision about his desire to get into a big war, or to just keep negotiating and achieve a goal that will help him at home politically and economically, and that will be acceptable in Congress, which could be a problem. And the Iranians will respond the way they've always responded. Their position is clear. They've always said they don't want nuclear weapons. They've always said they have the right by law to enrich uranium. They've limited the enrichment before. They're willing to do it again. They're willing to put stockpiles in other countries. They're willing to have a consortium of nuclear enriched countries in the region. They're willing to do all of the concessions on the nuclear side that they've been asked to do. The United States has accepted some of them, but not all. The problem is not the nuclear stuff. The problem is the U.S. Under Israeli pressure, and we saw Netanyahu go to Washington yesterday for this. The Israelis want the Iranian missile capabilities to be destroyed or limited. And they want Iranian political alliances with strategic partners around the region to be shut down. This is not reasonable. Very few countries in the world will support this kind of unilateral changing of the agenda. And the Iranians have said, we're not going to talk about these issues, and we're going to talk about nuclear stuff and sanctions, relieving sanctions on Iran and nuclear agreement. So that's clear what the Iranians want, what they'll do, and what they want to. The Iranians are in a stronger position now than they were last year when they were attacked by Israel and the U.S. Their defensive capabilities, their missile capabilities, their radar capabilities, their intelligence capabilities, all of these capabilities are much stronger now, better defended, and they learned a lot from the last year. So the U.S. has to be really careful about what it does. It can carry out a big, dramatic strike. I mean, watching the U.S. and Iran is like watching the U.S. and the Olympics on TV. Here in the U.S., we watch them. It's all about drama and tough guys and human emotions and power and this, and we're the greatest. And this is the same thing that they're doing in Iran. All these weapons, these aircraft carriers are not the most ideal weapons to conduct any kind of military action of this sort. So I don't think the military side is going to prevail in this situation. The U.S. would like to do one quick strike, get in, get out, go home, say we won. They did that last June, and it proved to be not true.
Exactly, and that tends not to solve the bigger problems at hand. Rami, thank you very much indeed for the moment. I appreciate you coming on the programme. Rami Khouri there from the American University of Beirut.